President Trump wrapped up a four-day visit to Europe today. His final day at the G20 summit included a face-to-face meeting with China's President Xi Jinping. Also today, 19 G20 leaders agreed to implement the Paris Climate Accord. The U.S. is now the only G20 nation to pull out. First daughter and presidential advisor Ivanka Trump raised eyebrows, briefly sitting in for her father at a table of world leaders while he stepped away for one-on-one meetings. Major Garrett now with more on this busy day of diplomacy and demonstrations in Hamburg, Germany.
More than 20,000 protesters converged on Hamburg for the G20 summit's final day. The largely peaceful assembly contrasted sharply with the scuffles, looting, and fires that flared the night before. More than 200 German police were injured and nearly 100 protesters were arrested or detained in 3 days of disturbances. President Trump complimented German Chancellor Angela Merkel's handling of the protests, which have become something of a ritual at these summits.
It's been really incredible the way things have been handled, and nothing's easy, but so professionally and without much interruption.
The last day of the summit, a whirlwind of presidential meetings with the leaders of Britain, Japan, Singapore, and Indonesia. The biggest came last.
We are developing and have developed a wonderful relationship.
As Mr. Trump met Chinese President Xi Jinping and urged more pressure to deter North Korea's nuclear pursuits.
Success may take longer than I'd like, may take longer than you'd like, but there will be success in the end, one way or the other.
Mr. Trump departed Germany without holding an end-of-summit press conference, while leaders like Russian President Vladimir Putin did. Putin denied meddling in the U.S. election, an issue Mr. Trump raised in their meeting yesterday, but later set aside.
Our position is very well known. I repeated it. There are no grounds at all for saying that Russia intervened in the U.S. election.
Putin said he was optimistic about relations with Mr. Trump.
TV Trump is very, very different from the real Trump, from the Trump that I had before me.
Historically, the U.S. has led the drafting of the final summit statement. Not so under President Trump. The other 19 nations here agreed that the Paris Climate Accord, which Mr. Trump withdrew the United States from, is irreversible and will not be renegotiated. They also pledged to fight what they called trade protectionism, a not-so-subtle reference to Mr. Trump's hostility to multinational trade deals and his threats of future tariffs. Rita?
Major Garrett, thank you.